Well, good morning. It's Good Friday. Yeah. Yeah. So happy Good Friday. Hope everybody has fun Easter plans this weekend. Or I guess we're having the crew over for dinner, so I need to get that organized. I have no decorations out yet, but we got today, right? So let's just turn inward. Close your eyes. Take a moment to feel your breath moving in and out, still there, even when you're not paying attention to it. But it's so nice to notice it, really appreciate the breath. And this week, we've been talking about the second yama, which is Satya, and it means truthfulness. So I believe whenever you turn inward, find that peacefulness within you, that's when you find your truth, when you know the truth. Allow your face to soften for a moment. Please bring your hands to heart center. May we all learn to turn to our inner truth. And may we notice all the grace that's surrounding us is actually within us. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. And I forgot to mention that if you have blocks, please grab your blocks for this class and come on up to standing. And just stand with your feet at the edges of your mat and kind of right in the middle, and just make a nice stance on your feet. Rest down your feet. Take time to get balanced, and then stretch your arms up. Good. And with that nice tall spine, bring your hands on your chest and just kind of lengthen and lift there. Maybe you feel like Tarzan, you can beat your chest if you want. Feel super strong and grounded. Full breath, feeling that strength and length. Good. And then stretch your arms up again. And this time when you exhale, fold forward to a wide-legged forward fold, and just kind of check in there. And soften your face here. Perhaps lengthen the back of your neck a little bit. And then bend your knees. Bring your hands on your knees and bring your torso upright to a squat. And bring hands to heart center. And press into your feet. Stretch up again. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And sweep and rise. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Still feeling strong through the feet, fold forward. Check out your hamstrings, pranam. And fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. And bend, maybe swivel your heels in a little bit. Bend your knees in this wide stance. Come down to a frog position. Your heels lift fine. If you can, bring hands to heart center if you're feeling stable enough. And maybe just a little bit lift up. Challenge yourself. Think low bellies up, sits bones back. Just a little bit off. You're just warming up everything. Good. And then sink back down and come back to a forward fold. And then inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're gonna do some squats. So watch me. I want you to think we're just gonna sit our butt back. So keep the weight right in the middle of your feet. But as you squat down, I'm gonna have you bring your arms up and then press down, squeeze your glutes and come back up. Okay, so keep going. You might have to check your feet position, make sure it feels good for your knees. Try your low belly up, keep your spine really long, your heart lifted. Push into your feet when you come up, squeeze your glutes. Feel your hamstrings helping you, your quads. Try to draw your pelvis up as you come up. Let's do 5 more. You can do this. And 1 more. 5. And relax. Reach around, find your block. and bring it to the right side of your mat. I'm going to take off a layer. You can do that if you want. And you're just going to step your right foot on the block. And again, just make sure your kneecap and your toes are pointing the same direction as you bend, and then step your left foot to the side, again, wide on the mat. And here's what we're going to keep doing: squats. But this time when you come up, so watch me, you're going to do the same thing. And then when you come up, maybe lift your left foot. You don't have to. You can just do it straight in the center, okay? So let's go. Weight in the middle. My arms, I'm finding, are coming out to the side for this variation to help me balance. Draw your low belly up as you press up. Squeeze your right glute and your left too. It helps. If you don't want to lift your foot, you don't have to. 4, 3, 2, 1, and step off. Yay. Switch the side the block is on. Step the left foot on, the right foot, same plane. Take a breath. You ready? Squat and lift. The truth is, you're stronger than you think you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Step off. Move the block to the side and come into your strong stance. You don't have to have your feet as wide this time, but do have them at least hip distance. Stretch your arms up. And on the exhale, fold. Take a moment there. Bend your knees. Bring your hands on your knees. Slide the butt of your hand back to the hip crease. And then lengthen and come into a cow pose. So standing cow. Feel a big curve in your back. And then slide your hands down to your knees. Tuck your chin and round to cat. And just go back to cow. When you're ready, you can stay in any position that feels really yummy. Feels like a good stretch. Or you can move with your breath. You decide. Do one more round. And then pause with your hands on your knees and your hips in a or your spine in a neutral position. Bring hands to heart center. Twist to your right. Feel how strong your legs are. Come back through center. Twist to your left. Keep your back of neck long. Stretch out the glute. Good. And then come back to center and fold forward. Just feel the glutes and the hamstrings Stretching back out. If you feel like you can pull deep enough, you can slide your hands under the balls of your feet and press down into your fingers, but also isometrically feel like you're going to slide your feet back and your hands forward. You'll feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes. You can re-straighten the legs if you want. And breathe. Good. And then taking the hands back out from under your feet, slide the hands forward and the feet back and come to plank pose. And then push back, down dog. Walking out your dog. You can swivel the heels, stretch out the left side body and the right side body, keeping the shoulders nice and strong. Do that a couple times. And then coming back to down dog, come forward to plank again. I'm going to have you do push-ups. So if you're not feeling strong enough to do them with your knees lifted today, lower your knees. You're just going to do 3 push-ups. So lower down, push back up, lower down, push back up, back long, shoulders supported. One more. Good, and then push back, downward dog, and take a child's pose. And I mentioned that we're doing glutes and hamstrings and core today. So, like I said, any variation is fine. When you do those push-ups, you can do them full plank push-up, do knee plank push-up, or you can just stay in plank. That's a core workout as well. And so come forward, lift on up to plank. This time lower all the way to the ground. See how slow you can go. And then stretching your feet long, just 3 times lift to cobra. So inhale, lift, just a baby one. Exhale, lower. Let's see, check in. Last one, lift. And lower. Good, curl the toes. Push up and back, downward facing dog. And come forward down to your knees. And then just check your hand position, check your knee position, and really engage in your core. So think, I'm connected, I'm long back of neck. And then you're just gonna lift your right knee up and bring it in the same plane as your left hip. So right hip and left hip are in the same plane. Flex the foot, that's the right foot. And then just kind of do little pulses, squeezing the glute and the hamstrings as you do. Core doesn't change. You're just isolating, staying stable, isolating the glute the hamstring, long back of neck, long core, shoulder, rib cage back, sits bones back. 5 more pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then point the toe around the back, bring knee to nose, and hold in a cat position. Good. And bring the knee down. Come back to all fours with a really stable back. And do the other side. So lift the left knee. For me, I always feel stronger on my right side. So just notice, really engage, and then start the pulses. Squeezing the glute, hamstrings. Really strong through the core. Try your low belly up. Rib cage back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, bring the knee to nose, really round the back. Hold. And release the knee to the floor. Take a child's pose. Get off your hands. And breathe. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating. And then please make your way back to downward facing dog. Nice stable width in your feet and your hands. And then bend your knees a lot. And then think, I'm just gonna start by tucking my tail, rounding my low back, rounding my middle back, and my upper back, and come forward to a plank. Good, push back, down dog. And then do that again, bend the knees, start the rounding process, and push forward to plank. And one more time. Down dog, knees bent, round all the way up to plank. Good, this time, do a push-up if you want, lower down, push back up, and lower down to the mat. Good, stretch your feet long. Inhale, come to cobra. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to the middle, your hands back to your feet. Forward fold in the middle of your mat. Shake out your hands. I'm holding my elbows. Feels nice. Re-stretch out the glutes. And then on your next inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. If you want to use blocks, grab them and come to the front of your mat with your blocks by your feet. I'll just do a few lowies, sun salutes. Since we got the sun this morning anyway. I don't know how long it'll last, but so inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. and fold. Step your right foot back to deep lunge. Lower the back knee when you're ready. Just gonna kind of re-stretch out the left glute and the left hamstring, hands to the front knee and your right quads, hip flexors. So even though the hips stay in the same plane, you can bend a little deeper and lower them both down a little bit if it feels like a good stretch to you. You can let your arms dangle if you're feeling connected and strong. Maybe stretch them up. Anjane Asana. I always feel more stretch in my right hip flexor when I stretch my arms. Feel your chest lift. Rib cage stays back. Good. Touch down. Lift the back knee. Step forward. You step the left foot back. Deep lunge. Let's even this thing out. Lower the back knee. Hands to the front knee. Hug to the midline. Notice. Maybe stretch up Anjane. You're feeling stable and ready for that. You don't have to. Noticing your breath. Good. Touch down. Good. Step back to a downward facing dog. If you're on the blocks, that's fine. Extend your right leg. Stay really strong. Bend your right knee. Don't let your left shoulder drop as you lift your right hip. And just square your hips to the side if you can. Shoulders stay square to the front. Wild dog. You'll feel different stretch. Good. Now square it out. And step that foot all the way up between the blocks. Deep lunge. You're feeling stable, hands to the front knee, hips stay square, come upright. Crescent warrior. Stretch your arms if you want. And please touch down. Good. Step back, downward dog. Take a moment there. Really notice the breath, your alignment. And then extend the left leg. Keep the shoulders square, the right armpit lifting, bend the knee. And open up, wild dog. I think it feels good in my glutes, my quads. Good. Square up the hips. Step that foot through. If you need to lower the back knee, you can. Otherwise, come up. Crescent warrior. Touch down, please. Good. This time, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And and fold. Step the right foot back to deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. And I really want you to notice your glutes as you come up to standing. So if you bring your left hand to the outside of your left knee and kind of press the knee into your hand, you'll feel that left glute turn on. And then the right glute, you're using all parts of your feet. You can turn that on too. And then add your arms and your core. Keep that nice, strong core always. You can bend a little deeper into the front knee. I know you did it when you did squats. You can do it. You can still see your big toe. You're probably tracking it straight. Your left toe. Check your glutes. And windmill down, touch the floor. Turn the back heel up. Just step the blocks off to the side for a moment and step back to a downward facing dog. And this is optional push-up. So if you're wanting a push-up, come forward to plank, lower and lift, and push back downward facing dog. Everyone inhale to plank, exhale lower, stretch the toes, inhale cobra. Stay for an extra breath because it feels so yummy. And lower down. Push to all fours, grab your block, and come to downward facing dog. Walk your feet slowly if you want, gracefully or clunkily if you want, up between the blocks. Take a moment and forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, lower. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. You have another side to do. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Mindfully grounding the back foot down, coming up warrior two. If you liked the knee thing, do that. Press your right knee into your right hand. Fire that glute. Notice your left glute working. Add the arms. Lengthen the core. Rib cage on the back. And track the knee straight. Bend deep. We want strong warriors. One more breath. And on the exhale, lower down. Step back, downward facing dog. Let the blocks to the side. You can stay here or add a push-up. So if you're adding the push-up, come forward to plank. Lower, push back up. Downward facing dog. Everyone plank. Lower all the way to the ground. Inhale to cobra. Stay for an extra breath. And lower down. Good, push all the way back. Step to a child's pose. I fooled you. You thought I was going to say down dog. Just take in your breath slowly. And mindfully. Notice your heart rate. And then coming up to all fours, swivel your feet to one side and come back on down to your bum and stretch your legs out long in front of you. And then just find your legs in the socket so that you can sit on your sits bones. Actually, everyone, press your heels down, bend your knees slightly. And remember how we lifted our chest, just feel that length. You can bring your hands beside you and press down. And then you can re-stretch the legs straight if it feels like you can keep all of the other. This is a pose called Dandasana. Draw your low belly up. Rib cage stays on the back. Just feels like a really strong, Dandasana means staff pose. Good. Now, if you want to fold into Paschimottanasana, you can, but I want you to keep all that length and strength in your core. And just think of the purpose of this is to stretch out your glutes, your hamstrings. So go slow. I still feel myself hugging my heels toward me. If you want to, remember lengthening the back of the neck and then maybe even tucking the chin. Helps you to remember to go inside. Good. And then come up a little ways and come on your fingertips. Keep your right fingers off to the side and then reach across with your left hand and maybe find the knee, the shin, the ankle, or even the foot. And just do a little twist. Feel it in your glutes that you've been working. Good. And then switch sides. So left hand off to the side, right hand comes across. Like you're centering on your left leg, twisting open a bit. Good. Come on back up. Ah, that feels yummy. Take your feet wide. If it's better for you to turn sideways on your mat, you can. I'm going to scooch back so that my heels are on. And then think the same thing. I want the hips in the sockets, kneecaps and toes pointing up. Press the heels down. You can bend the knees if you want, hands by your hips so you get that really strong length with the heart. So I'm thinking press down, isometrically slide, re-straighten the legs if that works for you, or keep them bent. It's okay. And then when you feel like, okay, that's all set, maybe bring the hands to the inside and fold forward. Just go easy. Upavista Konasana. Remember stretching the glutes and the hamstrings a different way. And of course the inner leg as well. Lengthening the back of neck, tucking the chin. And then just like we did before, come up and then just face your right leg, a hand on either side. And I want you to really think, I'm going to keep this left leg grounded as I do this. I'm just going to face the right leg. Right hand stays off to the side, left hand reaches across, perhaps wherever it feels good to you. Keeping that left leg grounded. You won't go as deep, but it'll feel really yummy. Keep pressing the heels down. Come on up. Switch sides. Go slow now, thinking right leg stays grounded, everything's still aligned. And wherever it works for you to reach, you're just centering on that leg. You're not leaning to the side. Right leg stays grounded. One more breath. And come on back up. Come back to center. Check. Did everything stay aligned? Yeah. Bring the legs together. And then bend your knees and just bring your butt forward and lay down. Just make sure, take a moment to see, well, my feet are right under the knees. Hands are by the hips. Shoulder blades are underneath. And remembering glutes and hamstrings lift to Satya Bandha, so bridge pose. So just lift your hips, get into a comfortable position. You're not trying to lift the hip creases as high as you can, but you are trying to activate glutes and hamstrings. So feel that. And then little pulses. So you just kind of squeeze and let loose, squeeze, let loose. Keep strong through the feet. When I'm using my glutes, it feels like I'm pulling my heels towards me. I don't know about you, just notice. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Take a moment and then hug your knees in. Just roll into a little ball. Good, and then lay back down. Bring your feet flat. Arms in cactus. And just shift your hips to the right. So you have to push in your feet. Shift your hips to the right a little bit. And then lift your feet and let your knees roll all the way to the left. You're in a twist. Now, if your right shoulder is up, I want you to bring a blanket under your knees. You'll feel it where you've been working your right glute all over. And now, if you want a little bit more core work, you can stay where you're at, or you can do this. Bring your hands to your temples I don't want you pulling up on your neck. Think long back of neck, really strong in the core, and then lift the head and shoulders towards your right hip and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Stay there for a couple more seconds. And then bringing your knees back up, feet flat. Shift your hips now to the left side and knees to the right. One side always feels a little different, so just notice that. Excuse me. And then if you want that extra challenge, hands to the temples and lift towards your left hip. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Enjoy it for a few more seconds. Good, and then bringing the knees back up. Center your hips. You have to lift up a little bit to get centered. Bring your feet nice and wide on the mat, just like we did at the beginning. And then do some windshield wipers. So knees go right and left, right and left. Work it out. And then pause when the knees are up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to open. Hands can come on your belly or on your inner thigh. Focus in on your breath. Try to relax your glutes here and your hamstrings. Couple more breaths. And bringing your knees up. Hug them in towards your chest again. And just kind of move the knees side to side and just kind of massage the low back. It helps to lift your head and shoulders. You can do that. Kind of get into that spot. And then grab just the kneecaps. Just keep moving the knees right and left. Just kind of slowly push the knees away from you. Just massaging different areas until your arms are finally full length. Massaging the glutes. And then let go, bring the feet flat. Grab your block. This is optional. You don't have to. If you want to start Shavasana, you can, but I'm going to use the corner of my block and just bring it right into that spot in my glute that really feels angry and tight. And then I'll just kind of come down on it and work it around. Maybe let the left or right hip come down, wherever side you started. I can't remember what I told you. awesome. It's kind of a hurt so good kind of thing. You can switch to the other side. Loosen that guy up. Work it around till you find the sweet spot that needs the attention. Good. And then release. Oh, and stretch out for Shavasana. Take your time to get in a really nice position. Just start with your glutes and your hamstrings. Relax those areas. See if you're holding tension there. Relax your low back and your belly. Relax your quadriceps and your knees. Chest, your upper back. Shins and your calves. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Your ankles, your feet, your toes. Your neck, your jaw, your face, your eyeballs, your forehead, scalp, and ears. Allow everything to relax, let go. Settle into the floor and your breath. How often do I not notice the miracles all around me, or honor all the kindnesses shown me, or allow myself to fully embrace the good that's in my life? Today, I remember that every day is precious. Every heart carries within it the Spirit of God, and every event contains the platform for a miracle. May I not be blind today to the awesomeness of this life. May the days be gone when I took for granted all the blessings in my life. May my eyes be open that I might see more beauty. May my ears be open that I might hear my truth. May my spirit open that I might feel the tender touch of God. That's from Marianne Williamson. Please begin to wiggle and move. Start to find your way back to seated. Take your time. Find a nice seat. And just check in once again. Check within. Let's bring hands to heart center. And bow towards your heart, where your truth is. And where I am very truthful when I say I appreciate all of you, respect all of you very much. Thanks for practicing. Namaste. Well done, everybody. Hope you